Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to today's episode of the Diaspora Global Panel. With me, I have Jude Unwa Okolo from Dublin, Anthony Eze from the United States, and my humble self from today's episode from Canada, Olakunle Lemboye. We have with us today Comrade Sodiq Kifli, who is joining us today to discuss the oil subsidy controversy. Comrade Kifli is the vice chairman of the independent marketers branch of NUPENG, Mosimi branch. Welcome to today's show, Comrade Sodiq Kifli.
Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, my doctor and the anchor in the house. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. We feel your presence today will actually shed light on the controversy surrounding the oil subsidy. We know that news broke last week that the government intends to extend, the costly fuel subsidy program in Nigeria. And this, we know, is a major reversal of policy, as the government, as earlier said, July 1st date to end the oil subsidy program. The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, made it clear that President Muhammadu Buhari was not aware of any plan to remove the fuel subsidy in the country. The labor union is swiftly met and asked the government to make their position clear, because everybody knew that the government had earlier set July 1st date as the end of the oil subsidy program. And the labor union, they threatened a strike, that if the government does not make their position clear as soon as possible, they will embark on a strike at the end of January 2022. You see, many claimed that the costly, oil subsidy program is responsible for our economic woes, as it is not sustainable and riddled in fraud. And in fact, the federal government of Nigeria, and it's a very costly program. I don't think anybody is going to dispute that. And in fact, the federal government of Nigeria budgeted 3 trillion naira for the oil subsidy program in 2022. That is a substantial amount. Comrade Sodiq, please, we want to ask you, what do you think about the government's decision to suspend the fuel subsidy removal?
Thank you very much, Doctor. Yeah, once again, my name is Sodiq Kifli, the IMB of NUPENG, Vice Chairman, Mosime. Yeah, you see, the reason government gave that they are reversing the implementation, because the implementation of the Petroleum Industry Act is the one that brought about the removal of subsidy. So the reason they gave of why they are reversing it is that they are consulting with some stakeholders, and with the economic realities on ground in Nigeria, so they don't have any other choice than to reverse it. And in another way, the NLC, that is the Nigeria Labour Congress, and the TUC, the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, they came together when they were aware that the government want to remove the subsidy. came together to mobilize. They said they have started mobilization. That was early January. That by the time, by February, by early February, they are going to shut down Nigeria as a whole. I think those and many other reasons are why government have to make a U-turn and reverse the implementation. And they did not, as earlier said, they did not really remove it. They are extending it at least maybe for about 18 months. So, but the Labour Congress, of which we, the union leaders, we are part of, we are closely watching the government, because we are maybe to answer your question direct now. The reason why they have to remove it, I think, is going to cause a very hardship to the masses in Nigeria, and it has been causing it. The other time the government increased the fuel price, I think from 65 to 160 something. That is what brought about the inflation we are still battling on in Nigeria now, that we have not gotten over it. So for government to now decided to go and impact a hardship on the citizenry again, I think that is why the union, the labor union, are not in support of it.
Thank you, Comrade Kifli. Jude, you have heard Comrade Kifli. You have heard what he said. He said that the labor union swiftly mobilized and threatened the government that they will shut down the nation. Jude, what is your take on the suspension of the fuel subsidy removal?
Well, thank you, my comrade, for giving us insight on what is happening in Nigeria. We have you here because we need to have a real opinion from the ground. Now, like you said, the Labour Congress, said they will shut down the government by whatever action we take. And then the government said, no, okay, we're going to leave it for you, right? The fact is this. I believe, my opinion, that government, we are supposed to have given a very good reason to the LSA and come in touch with them to understand why they are actually going to implement it. So I believe that by just taking fear into their system and acting on fear that the government will close down, it's not actually professional. Think about it. And I really understand where you're coming from, because you are there on the soil. But what I mean is this, Comrade, I want to just come to you to ask you a question here. Do you think that if the NLC has not opposed the government in such a manner, that it would have been a very good, the government would have done something that would be, you think, I don't know what you think about that, personally, or your organization, think that if the subsidy is removed, it might be better for Nigeria and for Nigerians as a whole. I want to see your opinion. How do you guys come into it? Because you guys are on the ground. Apart from what the Labour Congress said, what do you people think would have been better for us Nigerians?
Yeah, thank you very much. Even before the emergence of President Buhari, all the stakeholders here in Nigeria believe that payment of subsidy, whereby is being perpetrated and frauded by some individual, should be removed. But what we are saying now is that you can't just impose hardship on the citizen without providing an alternative, whereby at least where that can ease their life in the course of the removal of the subsidy. It's very good. It's a welcome idea, even considering the huge amount being expended on the payment. Even the said amount self, people believe that there are some evil underground that is being perpetrated, because there are situations whereby an invoice, a false invoice will be issued to government, and they will be claiming they imported a particular barrels of fuel, and at the end of the day, we discover that the fuel that they claim they imported down to Nigeria is not up to that, and they will be claiming the money, and the government are paying them. So that's why our people, they come into conclusion that we are not saying that you should not remove it. If at all you want to remove it, go and provide an alternative, or you should go and block the leakage, because there are some cabals both in the government and we are in Nigeria, all these big people, so there are cabals among them that are used to frustrate the effort of the government. But notwithstanding, that is not the responsibility of the citizen to go and do. It's still the responsibility of government to go and block the leakage and some other things. It's very good. It's very good. The subsidy, we understand that is costing the government a lot of money, but there's nothing we can do, because we can't just be imposing hardship on our people.
Yeah,
that answer your question?
Yes. Thank you, Comrade. Tony, what do you think?
Comrade. Okay. Comrade, we thank you for coming to give us a good lecture here. Before I ask you a question, I need to come out with a lot of preambles. You see, subsidy has been with us for so long. Maybe in the past, we were able to afford subsidy. Where we are now, the real confusion is that the people of Nigeria, both in Nigeria and in diaspora, do not understand the money you are using for this, the government puts on this subsidy. Do we borrow it or we have it available? Because if we don't have this money available, telling government to continue borrowing, because what it means is that both Nigeria and the labor union are asking the federal government to go and borrow money, pay the interest, and use it to provide the subsidy. Because if the masses that usually go on strike whenever there's a price hike, if they are meant to understand that we don't have the money again, therefore, the issue now is no more neither here or there, telling the government to keep it or to remove it. The labor union should understand that that's not the scenario now. The scenario is that you cannot give what you don't have. The money is not there. And if the labor union kind of continue with the federal government dialoguing whether to remove or not to remove it, no, both sides are not telling us the truth. Because if the masses know today that we don't have that money to subsidize, that insisting that government should do that is a way of telling government to accumulate debt for yet unborn children in Nigeria. Therefore, that we should, our emphasis should be on government providing infrastructures, good roads, and other that will alleviate the problem. We know, true, that if government removes subsidy, that's why my personal opinion all along, when I have not understood the real problem with the subsidy, is that government, even if they are removing, it should be gradual, so that the populace will start getting used to the little hardship. But that when it takes it all together, that we have problem. But now, personally, I've changed my opinion because I discover the money is not there. Why do you insist on government giving you what they don't have? And one thing I want to emphasize here again is that we are talking of an economic problem. And the labor union and the government are trying to provide political solution. Fuel subsidy is a mechanism of economic trends. We should not be using these political gimmicks of postponing the takeoff, the removal and all that, that's not the way it should go. We should look at it as an economic problem. And if it's an economic problem, we should look for economic solution, not political solution. Because if we continue with the political solution, we will be recycling this problem on and on and on and on. So if the people who the Labour Congress are representing are made aware that this is if the masses are aware that what they want the government to do, that the government has no resources to do it, we will have less tension. We should have less demonstration, because they are now made aware of where they are. Because if we don't do it that way, we keep on going from one problem to the other. Comrade, do you think that removal, or let me put it this way, what kind of problem will the masses have if the federal government remove this so-called subsidy they are borrowing money to implement?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. First of all, before I forge ahead, one of the major campaign agenda of our president now, before he emerged as the president in 2015, was that he is going to build a refinery in Nigeria. That's number one. Then number two, the issue of refineries in Nigeria, the government has never come out for once since his emergence and tell us why he has not been able to build the refineries. Now to your question, one of the problems our citizens here will face prior to the removal of the subsidy is number one, the fuel will skyrocket. Then by skyrocketing, maybe because what some people predicted was that maybe we'll be buying fuel at 302 naira or something. That is almost 100% increment that we're buying fuel. And in Nigeria here, all other things are running on fuel. Even the movement of our raw materials from our various villages down to where we are going to sell it will run on fuel. Then we Nigeria, we provide our security ourselves, we provide our water, all other things. Then if even let me even say it very clear here. If our government is able to build a refineries in Nigeria, there will not be reason for us going to exchange our money for dollars again before we imported fuel down to Nigeria. So there will not be cost for all those costs our government is saying. Like now, this 3 trillion naira that our government is saying is spending on paying the subsidy yearly. All those money will be available for other infrastructure, like building of road, providing of fiber water and some other things, where our citizens will be enjoying. But for government to now say that they want to increase the hardship without providing an alternative, the alternative we are saying here is building a refineries, making a good transportation, like the train track that they are building up from Lagos to, they said they want to build it across Nigeria. If they can be able to do that, at least it will ease the life, our well-being of the people.
Comrade, can I just come in here? You see, what we are proposing is very fantastic. But the point I want to bring along is that the money you want to spend for alternative use, where is the money coming? Because the government are saying they go out there, whether China or anywhere, they borrow the money. They don't have it now. It is when the money is available that we decide what and what we can divert the money to rather than fuel subsidy. Where do you expect the government to get this money? Or are you encourage them to continue borrowing and paying interest?
Our government cannot come out and tell us that there is no, if you are saying there is no money, there is a particular time that our union has proposed that, okay, if you say there is no money, all of you in the assembly, National Assembly, the representative, okay, cut down your salary first, so that we be at least we begin to know there is no salary, there is no allowances of the government that they have cut down. So for them telling us, then go and the election is coming now. Go and research how much they are going to spend on the coming election. They are not. Let me tell you, even if you are aware, the government, they said they are going to maybe be paying a certain amount, maybe like 5,000 or 10,000 naira to a particular in numbers of people, at least to ease the cost of transportation during the removal period. We calculated the money. The money is even more than the 3 trillion naira they said they are. Where do they want to see the money? That's why we are saying my president, Ayuba Wada, the NSC president, was on a particular national television maybe a few weeks ago. He said a modular refineries will not take them up to 18 months before they build one. If an individual can build a refineries in Nigeria, how much more the government? Those people, they are aware of what they are doing. They just want to impose the hardship on our citizens. That's why we are saying removing subsidy now is not going to go away. Let me tell you, the reality on ground in Nigeria now, if you are here, you will understand what I'm saying. I'm telling you, there are some news, even this one we are saying is everywhere in the newspaper. But the reality on ground is that even you people over there, you should have been witnessing it. If people in your surroundings, they discover that maybe you eat 3 times in a day, you imagine the kind of messages they will be sending to you. For you to know that there is really there are hardship on ground. For them to remove subsidy at this particular time, honestly, there are ritual killings everywhere. All those things are amended to the hardship on ground. So for them to reduce, to remove the subsidy, honestly, it's going to pose a very hardship on our people. That's why we are saying, if at all you want to do it, give us an alternative. Give us an alternative. Honestly, well, let me stop there.
And as you can see, Tony, just hold on, please. There are the follow-up questions that I wanted to ask you. You have actually answered them in your surmise when you started. Okay. Anyway, I just want to jump on what Comrade said. And for our viewers, Comrade Sodiq Kifli is the Vice Chairman, Independent Marketers Branch of NUPENG, Mosimi branch in Ogun State. You know, he is vast. He is an authority, on this subject. And I kind of deduced something from what he said. And that got me thinking. Are we saying that Dangote is richer than Nigeria? Dangote is building one of the largest refineries in the whole world. Are you saying that Dangote has more access to cash or to funds or to money, finance, than Nigeria as a country? And what Comrade said now is that modular refineries, it takes just 18 months to construct one. And I know that there are a couple of them in the eastern part of the country in Nigeria. Now, your question, Tony, was that what can the government do, isn't it?
No,
That there is no money. There is no money.
My concern is that
what can the government do? And Comrade has told us that government can start by building refineries. And he said that one of the campaign slogan of President Muhammadu Buhari when he was contesting was that he will build refineries. Why have we not seen a refinery built in Nigeria? Okay. So I think that is what we should be talking about, because when we keep saying there is no money, our comrade has made us to understand that. And I believe that myself and you, we know this, that the salaries of political appointees, elected officials, have not been reduced by a dime. So if we keep saying that go take it on, Tony.
When you're done, I'll follow up.
Take it on. I'm done.
Yeah. That's why we've introduced this session. We've introduced this session of the program where we bring a Nigerian.
We'll
be able to bring a Nigerian who will be able to tell us what is on the ground. Our concern is that even when we are talking about building more refineries, when we have some existing refineries that are moribund right there that the government can fix. I am in support of refineries, but at the same time, what happens to the old one we have? Comrade.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. What the old one that we have, what we heard from the government was that the expenses of which they incur on them is too much. So and then we advise them, even if you were not able to repair this, at least to bring it back to life, can sell it out so that at least you go for a new one. Then these are the reason why we, the citizens of Nigeria, we don't believe our government anymore. There is a particular time that they said maybe the refinery that is not working. This is a particular, I can't recollect now. The particular amount they expended on it on monthly basis. If you hear it, you say, are these people, are they serious at all? Okay. So that's why we are advising that, okay, if you cannot be able to bring that one to life again, go for another one. There are businessmen all over the world that want to trade, that want to engage in business in Nigeria. At least you can sell it out for them and build another one.
Yeah.
Those are what we are saying. Yes.
Yeah. So now, sorry for putting it there. I just want to add again that it appears there is a kind of politics between the labor and government that is disturbing, whereby Nigerians who are suffering do not understand who to believe again. Comrade, and it appears to paint a picture that the problem we have is only a government problem. In your own opinion, let me set an example whereby when there is a price hike, people, let's say government increase price from 65 to 146. If we calculate the percentage, I don't know the accurate pump price now, but what I'm stressing is that
65.
Okay, the rate at which our people increase their services and goods are far, far more higher than the percentage of increase in gas, PMS. And one notorious problem we notice that any price that goes up in Nigeria never come down. What do you think? Because personally, I ask that we have a kind of price control so that if there is a hike in pump price, there should be a law in place to make sure that our transporters, for example, do not increase up to 1,000% when the government increase probably 10%, because there is manipulated problem that the masses are suffering by fellow people who are supposed to help them cushion the effect of inflation. So what do you think our people are doing to contribute to this hardship?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. You know, you know, when we were engaging in a chat before we started this program, I think we raised this particular issue. You know, in Nigeria, maybe it's due to the poverty on ground or the reality on ground. Everybody want to make use of any opportunity that comes their way.
Correct.
They want to make use of it. So that's why when such thing happen, at least they will quickly try to gather something before those things. But all these things still bounce back on government, because you've said it all that if there is price control, who is going to initiate it? It should be the government.
Correct.
So every other thing bounce back on the government, because you know, and our people, they believe that if our people are in Abuja making their own millions, the little they can make here, they should quickly gather it before. Yeah, everything bounds on government and fear of poverty.
Yeah.
It's fear of poverty. It's when even there is a particular question that I don't, maybe you are going to get there or not.
Okay.
Immediately there is something that used to happen when government increased price. Maybe now my filling station now, maybe I just got a truck of fuel now. So maybe in the evening, the government announced the increment. You know, immediately I will have to change that price. Our people keep on asking us, why now? Why do you have to do that? Why is it when government reduce, you people don't reduce, but when the government increase, you change it to the current price? We used to tell them it's because by the time we finish this one, we finish selling this one, the money we are taking back to market will not be complete if we don't change it like that. So those are the reality on ground, but at least government can still control price. You've said it all, you can still control price. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, Jude. Yes. We noticed that, you know, a lot of, you know, organizations are criticizing the government for suspending the oil subsidy removal, even though they know what or the hardship this removal of subsidy is going to have on our people. It's going to cause on our people.
Yes.
So I am just wondering, for example, the civil society organizations, they actually criticized the government and said that the oil subsidy program lacks transparency. The most surprising one is the Nigeria Christian Forum, the NCF. They came out to say that the government is not courageous enough to save the nation from total collapse by removing the oil subsidy. And I know that by saving the nation from total collapse, they are referring to the huge amount of money the country is expending on fuel subsidy. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, also came out swiftly to criticize the government. What do you think? Why do you think these people, even though they know that this is going to cause hardship for our people, why are they against the suspension of this fuel subsidy removal?
Thank you. to my very good friend, Comrade Sodiq. We have put you so much on that. You can see how long we have seen how long they have been with us.
And our viewers, we just have to bear with Comrade, because I think there is background noise where he is. So, please, let's bear with him.
Yeah, Comrade Sadiq, so patient enough to be on this forum with us now. I'm so happy for that. Thank you so much, Comrade.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for your patience. I don't want to put you into much pressure, but you are a man in office. The office you occupy is very, very sensitive and is very, very crucial to this discussion. You see, that's why I know you are so patient to wait to stay with us on this panel. Thank you for that. I mean, thank you for the passionate mind you have for our country, Nigeria. And Dr. Kuli have asked this question to me now. And I will rather, instead of answering it, because we see, maybe, I don't know if you're in a hurry to go because of the where you are at the moment, something around you, probably you are getting time to go for you. I would like to give you more time to actually deal with it, so that even if you leave, we can now go back to my topic, which he asked me. Okay, so I want to give you the privilege to speak more. If you can delve more insight to the question he asked me, so that if you want to leave, we can continue, so that we don't give you more, keep you waiting. Because I have a lot to say, to be honest. I have a lot to say. If I begin to voice out what I have in my mind here, it's going to be like taking more time, and you'll be there.
Yes. So can you unmute him? Can you unmute him?
Yeah. Can he unmute now? I asked him to unmute. I can't do it.
Okay. So shoot ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. The IPMAN, that is the Independent Petroleum Marketers of Nigeria, and the Christian Association of Nigeria, that are frank on government of reversing this petroleum, the bone of contention on this matter we are discussing is not particularly on removal of subsidy. It's on the Petroleum Industry Act, bill or act that was signed. When the president signed a bill, it has automatically become a law. But now the government is now saying that, okay, they are consulting. Why can't they consult those stakeholders before the signing of the document? It will make the government not serious. Those are the arguments of the IPMA and the Christian Association of Nigeria. That you people, you are there, you pass a law, pass through the states, the lawmaker, the rep, the representative, the senator, down to the government. You people did not consult until the president signed it. That's when you now started your consultation. It's not done. It's not done. So it makes the government look as if they are not serious of what they are doing. It's a slap on the government, but there is nothing we can do about it. It has happened. But I think the government did not want to do that. But we are in Nigeria, and 2023 election is coming. Anything can hello.
Yeah.
So we are in Nigeria. Anything can happen. So that's why we can't really say much about. But what I'm saying is that this is not the right time to do that. Thank you very much.
Okay. Comrade Sodiq, we really thank you for your appearance. You have really put a lot of light on what we are doing. And we employ you and your union to really provide enough practical solution. Take, for example, worldwide, especially in developed countries, PMS, people are trying to change to alternative source of energy, so that this money, which we don't have, though you are confirming government have it, can be used into more judicial thing that will release the masses. Take, for example, there's an allegation that 50% of the problem that Nigeria is from food supply. We want you guys also to go down to the basis to educate our people what are what may not happen. And then at the same time, let some of our people know that they need to get involved and know what they can do to minimize suffering in transportation, food and all that when there is fuel hike. Mr. Kule, I think we need to release our guest because he has done a lot for us today.
Yes. Thank you, Comrade. We really appreciate you. Thank you for coming on today's program. Thank you, and we can release you now. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Kunle. I know you asked me a question. I wanted him to, have his time because of the background noise and the stress he has been with us over 30 minutes now. And Dr. Kunle has asked me a question here. So many organizations in Nigeria have opposed the government, and they want is why they shouldn't remove the subsidy, because we can see the government is lacking transparency. Mr. Tony, you can understand me?
Yes, perfectly.
Yeah, there's a lot of things the government cannot answer. Okay, I'm gonna share on the screen because before I continue before I share this on the screen, I want to actually let our viewers know. During our last discussion, we tackled some subjects when we talk about last discussion, and there were a lot of comments coming from our viewers, and they think I just want to clarify to them that from what we have seen from the Comrade, we are not far from the truth. He has showed us that there are a lot of anger in Nigeria. People are suffering. He has shown us everything. He's on the soil. Yes. He's not happy himself. So we are not tackling the president of Nigeria because the problem is we hate him or we have anything against him. We are trying to deal with Nigerian issue, which even started before the President Buhari came in. Unluckily for him, he is the one in charge at the moment. And we have to quote him before we do anything. So we cannot run away from not quoting him because things are getting worse. So to our viewers who think we are actually against the government, we are not actually against the government. We are against the system. We are against the way things are being done because it's getting from bad to worse. So they should bear with us, and we are all here together to see how we can correct the anomalies. Okay, in this issue of first subsidy, I'm going to give you. I want to be transparent at this moment so that I will not be quoting based on what I know, but from what I see online and what I read on the papers. So I'm going to share a screen for you to see that in the last 12 years, how much have been invested on fuel subsidy in Nigeria. So permit me to share this screen.
Go ahead. Go ahead. While you are sharing, we just want to definitely let people know that the issue of fuel subsidy continues to be very controversial as far as the government don't want to be transparent. Now, from our guests, it appears the general belief in Nigeria is that the federal government has the money. It's just that they don't want to keep the subsidy, or that some people are manipulating. But the truth is that it appears, because since we are not on the ground, we kind of allege, it's alleged that the federal government don't have enough money to sponsor this program, and continuously telling them to go ahead will be continue to be a woe on the economy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Tony,
Yes.
can you see my screen here?
Correct.
Federal government spent 10 trillion naira on fuel subsidy in 12 years at the expense of infrastructure. And the source I've displayed to you there,
yes,
from datafight.com, published online. Okay, so when we come here to let the public see what is happening, everything we're quoting is actually a fact. Either we got it online, we have the source.
That's correct.
Yeah, so 10 trillion have been spent for the last 12 years. Okay, the last 12 years has been a regime of Goodluck Jonathan and President Muhammadu Buhari. Okay, they have spent 10 trillion naira on first subsidy in the last 12 years.
Wow.
Now, let me stop this share there.
Okay.
The question is this now. The Christian Association of Nigeria and the other organizations who have studied this have actually seen that the last 12 years, we have wasted a lot of money on this program. And it wasn't transparent.
Yeah. That's it.
It's not transparent.
That's it.
Yeah, and they want to see, when you say you are giving subsidy or putting subsidy on this, they want to see the result. They want to see how it's being managed, and they are afraid that this is another way. Okay, one thing again I want to point out to this: for the last 7 years, the government has been in office. They have not achieved anything through this fuel subsidy, and now they said they want to postpone. They want to borrow another 3 trillion to sustain. That means
no, they didn't say they are going to borrow.
No, what I said
they didn't say they are going to borrow 3 trillion. They budgeted it for 2022.
Yeah, but that is it. Let me share you.
But impliedly, they will borrow.
Okay, yeah, okay. Let me share for you a screen that will show you the budget of the government of 2022, and that will actually prove to you that they are going to borrow the money. Okay, I want to share this screen to you. Budget of 2022. We want to be precise in what we are saying, because they're not saying that they are going to borrow it, but this is what is shown in the Guardian, which I'm going to quote the source for you.
Okay.
Buhari signs 17.12 trillion naira 2022 budget. Okay, this is from the Guardian newspaper. Okay, if you go down and read here, it's a deficit budget. That means the amount we have is not enough to fund this 17 trillion naira. So you can go, I don't want to go into it because I will take your time. So part of the left deficit is part of the 3 trillion they are going to borrow. So it's not that I am saying that they said it, but it is written there that the 3 trillion is going to be among the deficits Nigeria is lacking, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what it is. So what we are saying here that if they cannot perform in the last 7 years, and they are still scared of removing subsidy, and they still want to borrow more, and they're suspending it for the next government, I don't know where they're coming from. So the organizations that are opposing this know what they are saying, that it is not visible, it is not accepted anymore, that they have taken enough, and the government should stop that. You see, they should start deceiving Nigerians, because this is Nigeria. We have seen the Comrade here saying that they are not happy, they are stranded, they are not everything. Okay, let me comment on my own. Let me say what I think would be good at this moment. If fuel subsidy is removed, let me put it this way, and they want people not to face hardship, there are other ways they can generate money. Okay, there's the other way they can do it. They can say, our people in agriculture, you are exempted from paying the amount of this fuel. If you pay so amount of money buying petrol, the federal government will refund you part of the money you spent. All we have to see is when you buy petrol, bring your receipts, and the excess will be refunded. And still remove subsidy. And you can say the masses who are under social amount of money receiving money, you are exempted. But what we want to see is that when you spend this money buying petrol, we give you a cap and we refund you back. But we have to see evidence that or the petrol you have used for the year. The other way they can generate, they can say, okay, we impose road tax for people who have more than 2 cars in Nigeria. If you have more than 2 cars, we impose a road tax for anybody who has more than 2 cars, and they will generate money from there. These are not what they want to do. They lack how to implement all this. All they are saying is that removing sweat. Who does it benefit? Somebody have 30 cars and is driving them all around, and it's somebody have no car, and both of them are suffering it. I mean, it doesn't make sense. They don't pay road tax. So there are many ways government can get money from there and help them to access to fix the issue, but they lack it. They don't want to do anything. So these are the points I want to clear to you, that the people with the association that says, no, we oppose it, know what they are saying, because it is all sham. It has been like this for ages, and they are tired of it. Okay, so let us be sincere about it. There's no 2 ways about it. And my point here is this. I want to point out that we are coming to the next 4 years. We are heading to 2023. We are going to step into the next 4 years. The wars we have in Nigeria does not start from Buhari. It started a long time ago, of which President Goodluck Jonathan was part of it. I was one of the figures here where I live that thought that Goodluck Jonathan should leave and that Buhari should come in because he performed when he was there with Ijago. So we thought, oh, this guy is the man that will perform. And then we fought everything for him to come in. I voted for him. I was campaigning for him. Then he came in. So are you telling me to say, now that he came because I campaigned for him and it's not doing well, are you telling to say that we should not voice out about me? We want the country to change. We're not talking about individualism here. We're talking about the country, Nigeria, that is going to slum very soon. Because we're coming to a point that if we make a mistake and vote the wrong people in, we're going to come back to be like a country like Zimbabwe during the time of Mugabe. We are going to come down to the time of when Ghana was carrying, there was cities in Nigeria, you can get bags of naira. Ghana must go to carry cities to buy bread. So 22-23 is so crucial. And that's why I think that any politicians among this group of people should not be given a chance. Because from the time of Goodluck up to now, things have deteriorated. And it is time for us to voice out our mind and see how we can, make changes. Kunle, over to you.
Tony, please, any last word?
Yes, I think we have come to a point where we need to profess solution.
Amen.
And like I said at the preamble, fuel subsidy is an economic problem. Therefore, we should not resolve it with a political solution because it will never happen. 2, we want to follow the rest of the world in alternative source. There is solar energy. Very soon, most developed companies will be on electric cars. We should be thinking toward that direction, because the petroleum used to be an international tool. But presently, if these changes get into place, even when we have abundance of crude or PMS, it will not be very, very productive to put us in the right path. Government should redirect their goal. Government should do something to reduce gradually our dependence on petroleum and the mono economy. It is coming to a point that if we don't have a good chance of alternative source of energy, we will go down the path where even to pay salary of any level of government will not be possible. and the masses will continue to suffer. Again, we should provide alternative type of transportation. We give kudos to the federal government for the new rail line. If we have alternative mode of movement, even if there's a hike in PMS, like now from Ibadan from Lagos to Ibadan, people have alternative. So if the transporters want to increase their transportation, when majority of Nigerians are using the railway, they will be forced to be at a price where most Nigerians can afford. I'm not saying that the rail line is going to go to all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, but they will be going to zonal headquarters whereby commuters can always commute on a shorter distance when they have used the railway. So it's very, very important that we should focus on leadership, because part of what is happening now is poor leadership. And there should be enormous communication with the people at the grassroots, so that when they are fighting for fuel subsidy, they will be able to know exactly what they are fighting for. The federal government needs to be truthful. When they don't have money for subsidy, they should tell the masses that we don't have money at all, so that the issue of whether you keep or we remove will not be the main focus. The main focus is that every person should contribute to the progress if the federal government has no money to subsidize. Because continuous increase in borrowing, it will not all go well for the country. And the masses themselves should know that all the solution must not be put at the doorstep of the federal government. They have part to play. There should be a price control of goods and services, so that people will not just capitalize on the inadequacies of certain government monitoring to be creating artificial scarcity for our people. This is the time for us to be on the right path.
Oh, thank you so much, Tony. You see, my take is this: similar to what the government has done with the rice and agricultural produce revolution. You see, I will encourage the government as well to create a conducive environment, for Nigerians to participate in the alternative energy business, by promoting, other sources of energy, so that we will not totally rely on these petroleum products. And like Comrade said, he made it clear that Nigeria can benefit from modular refineries, springing up across the nation. You see, here in Canada, okay, if you have heard about the Keystone pipeline, okay, what they are doing is that they are constructing a pipeline from the west of Canada to the east of Canada en route to the United States, so that they can tap into the US market, okay? So I think the federal government of Nigeria can also borrow from this. They can actually create pipelines, for crude, from from the eastern part of the country, where we have the crude oil, to different modular refineries across the nation, so that we will save ourselves from this problem of foreign exchange, etc., blah, 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 blah. So it's really messy at the moment, and we will implore the federal government of Nigeria to create a conducive environment for investors to play in the energy market. Thank you. We have come to the end of today's program. I want to thank Jude from the Republic of Ireland, Mr. from the United States for their wonderful, wonderful contribution to today's episode. I also want to say a big, big thank you to Comrade Sodiq Kifli, who joined us today to tackle the oil subsidy controversy. And from myself, Olakunle Lemboye from Canada, I would like to say thank you. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. See you again next week. Thank you.